In 538 BC, Cyrus the Persian gave a proclamation that the Jews could return to their homeland. A little over 50,000 made this first trip. Their leader was Zerubbabel, grandson of King Jehoiakim, who was king of Judah when Babylon conquered Jerusalem. 2 years later, in 536 BC, the Jews began rebuilding the temple. But due to opposition from their neighbors and indifference by many of the exiles, the work on the temple halted. 16 years later, God sent 2 prophets, Haggai and Zechariah, to stir the Jews to renew their efforts and get their spiritual priorities in order. They had wrongly concluded that it was not time to rebuild the Lord's temple. God answered this by sending 5 messages through the prophet Haggai.
Should you live in your homes of luxury while the house of God lies in ruins? Consider what is happening here, and give thought to your ways. Even though you plant a lot, you only harvest a small amount. Though you eat, you don't have enough. Even though you put on clothes, you are not warm. You earn wages, but they fall through a purse with holes in it. Why? Because the house of God, it lies in ruins. God says, go to the forests and bring down timber and rebuild my temple, and I will be pleased with it and appear there in my glory.
Then, because the people had responded to the first message, 23 days later, God sent Haggai with a second message.
I am with you, declares the Lord.
Zerubbabel the governor, Joshua the high priest, and all the returned exiles were energized to know the Lord was with them in this work.
We will provide provisions for all the workers. They will lack nothing. The priests will share in the construction to make sure it is built according to the pattern God gave Solomon.
With all their might, they began to give themselves to the rebuilding of the temple.
But the temple that Solomon built for the Lord was so much greater than this.
Yes, nothing could compare to it.
In this context, Haggai delivered a third message to the exiles.
God asks, those who saw this house in its former glory, how does it look to you now? Surely it seems like nothing.
Two months later,
Be strong, Zerubbabel, declares the Lord. Be strong, Joshua the high priest. Be strong, all you people. I am with you. Remember my covenant when I brought you out of Egypt. The Lord Almighty says, in just a little while I will begin to shake the heavens and earth, and the oceans and the dry land. I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come to this temple, and I will fill this place with my glory, says the Lord Almighty.
Haggai delivered a fourth message, with God instructing him to ask questions of the religious leaders.
God asks, if one of you is carrying a holy sacrifice in his robes and happens to brush against some bread or wine or meat, will it too become holy?
No, holiness does not pass to other things that way.
But if someone touches a dead person and so becomes ceremonially impure,
and then brushes against something, does it become contaminated?
Yes.
You were contaminating your sacrifices with selfish attitudes and evil hearts. And not only your sacrifices, but everything else you did as a service to the Lord. And so everything you did went wrong. But all is different now, because you have begun to build the temple.
That same day, Haggai delivered a fifth and final message from the Lord.
Tell Zerubbabel, the governor of Judah, I am about to shake the heavens and the earth, to overthrow thrones and destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the nations. I will overthrow their armed might, and brothers and companions will kill each other. But when that happens, I will take you, O Zerubbabel, my servant, and honor you like a signet ring upon my finger. For I have specially chosen you, says the Lord Almighty.
Haggai here is depicting the overthrow of the kingdoms of the world and the establishment of the Messianic kingdom. He looks to the day when the Messiah will reign on earth. The signet ring was a symbol of authority, honor, and power. God had removed the signet ring from Jehoiakim as they were taken into exile, but here it is renewed in the grandson of Jehoiakim as the official representative of the Davidic line, which will culminate in the millennial reign of Christ.